feel like I turn this thing around. Richard Plunkett. Okay. Let's see if we're live now. I'm in charge of hate crime after anti-Semitic. Watch live now. Anti-Semitic. Okay, so right here is where I've been looking, and I finally found it because they just posted it. It says July 29th. Posted it yesterday. They could have posted it between 20 and 26, even though 26 is when it happened. So, Richard Plunkett, 53-year-old New Springville resident, was charged with hate crimes. So, basically, if you guys don't know, New Springville is a community around the not too far from actually the Willowbrook area, the biggest, the most populated Jewish community, uh, Jewish community on Staten Island. With Hasidic moving in, and many Jews moving in from different places like Muncie and mostly Brooklyn. But it is a safe and very, I would say it's like a more suburban than city. And being that it's doesn't mean crime doesn't happen. Yes, in the city there's more crime because there's more action and there's more people. So for that reason, when the population is up and high, and the crime rates are up and high, because there's all different kinds of not just one type of ethnicity or one type of religion or one type of peoples or tribe you guys want to call it these days, but everybody together wants to move in, open up stores next to each other. You got a halal store, and you got an Armenian and a kosher Jewish store, and a kosher restaurant. One Satmar, the other one's Bet Yosef, the other one's Yemeni Arab selling hookahs and illegal whatever. Let's keep it. Let's not snitch on anybody. So let's keep it legal. So one's next to it, Yemeni, and then they're all fighting with each other. Darts, but this one's got too close to that one. This one's taking my business because this place is. He signed the same thing as I am, so his is a higher than mine. So it creates a lot of volatile situation, and that's why there's a lot of hate crime in the city population as opposed to the suburban population. So Staten Island Advance didn't share this, and Staten Island Advance is the main network for Staten Island, and they cover all the news. But there was a hate crime. Richard Plunkett is a 53-year-old man who lives in New Spring for the past, let's say, with his mother in his basement. He lives alone with his mother, about a 90-year-old woman. What can she do? And his dog, of course. And he was charged with hate crimes after he violated an order of protection. He terrorized his neighbors because exactly I'll tell you where he was. So the attacks took place between the 20th and the 26th. So it was before Shabbat and going into Shabbat. By the way, I would appreciate likes, follows. Anybody that follows me back, I'll follow. Just subscribe. I'll subscribe back. I'd appreciate likes. You guys can chat on here. But anyways, I'm going back to this. So there was a hate crime in Staten Island, not too far. It was in Springville. Springville's 4 blocks from the mall, the Staten Island Mall. It happened between Rockland and Travis off of Keating Place, which was the first and main attack where they had the order of protection. Thank you for the like, by the way. Where they had the order of protection, and the guy came out of jail 3 hours later, and he actually broke the car, went into the house, broke the window or parts of the house. I don't know exactly what happened. They followed the older gentleman, came out in front of his kids and wife, and they're scared, hiding in the house. And basically, they got into a fight, and the guy, I'm just gonna say it straight out bluntly, he almost killed him. They got into a fight, a fist fight, and the guy almost tried to kill him. And until neighbors came out and tried to stop it. So, besides that, um, that wasn't the only. So there was one house was broken into, and the guy actually made his way into the house, which actually makes it a burglary. And now people are actually arming themselves, which I complete them for I think it's the Second Amendment. I congratulate them for arming themselves. People on Staten Island, especially Jewish people, get the license, arm yourselves. It's very easy. I could throw names out there, just judges that will give you easier permits and easier access. You're not gonna go to Mamdani because they're not gonna or give you a permit. You're gonna go to a judge. You're gonna go to the right people. Um, there's Jewish judges now on the bench. So from July 20 to 26, he started. Let's see, they didn't cover this, so I'm gonna cover this. He got arrested on the 26th, and he has a list of mental. He has a history of mental illness. He says that he has a metal plate on his head, so he's gonna plead the insanity. And he was probably off his meds. I don't know what meds he takes. I don't care what. There's a billion people on medication in the world. You don't see a billion people committing hate crimes, particularly against Jews. He did end up damaging a Chinese person and also a black person, African American persons, right down my block, down the block from where my apartment is. Besides that, it was mostly threats and against. It started with a former worker, and then um, it went on to be slurs against Jewish people, race against Jewish people, calling them different kinds of names, and it happened over a period of 6 days. So Richard Plum, if you see him, he has a beard. He lives in New Springville. Right now, he's in jail. Hopefully, he gets life in prison. He's charged with hate crimes. He's charged with vandalism, and all types of menacing and battery and assault charges. Right. So he damaged property on Keating Place. Keating Place is where he did the most damage because he actually broke a car, broke windows, broke a door, and actually broke into that. And now it's heartbreaking because when you see a father have to defend his family, or have to fight in front of his kids, defend himself in front of his kids and his wife, and they can't do anything about it, and he tells them to go hide or go downstairs. That's really, really heartbreaking. It would be heartbreaking if you weren't in their shoes. Um, but so on July 26th, he finally got arrested after 6 days of violating an order of protection. Not once, but twice. He violated the order of protection, right? He went to court. They gave him, I think it was a no bail, and then he had to come back for a bail, which going to probably be a high bail. Anyways, he's on remand, and we're hoping he gets state time, which means he goes to prison. If he gets state time, I'm going to be ecstatic. I appreciate the likes, guys, support, and just not just likes and support and subscriptions. And subscribe, and I'll try to subscribe back within the next 30 minutes to an hour, but I just wanted to tell you guys that this has not been covered by Staten Island Live. It was put out there by me, and I don't know if it's still on my channel, on this channel, or on my other channel, but this is mainly a news channel, and I do Torah classes, Testament, which is the Torah, the five books of Moses, uh, Musar, Halacha, and Parsha. But let's talk about the news because this is also main news channel. Covering Staten Island that the racist Staten Island Live doesn't want to cover. But I'm just gonna say Staten Island Live doesn't want to cover, yeah, because they just don't want to cover anything that has to do with Jews and hate crimes against Jews. So this is Blanket, he's a 53-year-old. I don't know if you guys can hear. He's a 53-year-old resident of New Stranger area. There's actually a couple of shuls around here. Luckily, none of the shuls were targeted or vandalized because, thank God, we do have detectives. Actually, there are retired detectives that are, with weapons. So at any time, we have armed security protecting the shuls. Most of the shuls, especially the Sephardic shuls around here, are being protected at all times of prayers and all times where there is gathering. Um, they're always being called. They're outside and inside, and um, even in their car. Sometimes there's more than one. So, so let's see. Threatened multiple victims, and so he attacked them with two yellow clubs, and he hit a three homes. He damaged three homes and four cars. One of them I saw the whole windshield, front windshield of the Mercedes truck was damaged. And this place yesterday when I went to see it, but I came off the bus and I couldn't believe it. So the front windshield was damaged. I'm gonna put you guys outside for a second. Maybe I have it on video. You guys can see it, but you guys can see right here where he struck an NYPD office garage door. So somehow he got his hands on a garage door. This guy has again, he is mentally ill, and the last time he got arrested, it took 6 police officers to take him. That's a lot. If you have to fight off 6 police officers to arrest you, that means you have some kind of retarded adrenaline going through your body from being a psychopath. So psychopaths belong in psych wards for the rest of their lives. Like this guy. Convicted of fourth-degree stalking in January 2019. And a former co-worker Adam is working. So this is New Springfield. This is not too Phillipsburg area. Guys, don't be scared because this is one person that's in jail. He's locked up, and he actually me and 3 other Jewish people not too long ago. Talking about religion and things like that, and I said in Hebrew, I said, "Hey," to one of my friends, I said, "Get him out of here, cause trouble." Cause my neighbor, who I'm friends with, he's not Jewish, but um, he's not around anymore. But when he was around, he said, "You see this guy?" Cause he used to stop and talk to him every once in a while. And he said, "You see this guy? He has a metal plate in his head. He's not well, and he has retard strength, which means He's mentally ill, and he belongs in a psychiatric hospital. Okay, so I'm just covering this. And the last anti-Semitic attack was, you guys already heard the guy in Brooklyn, um, IDF hoodie actually, and a guy, so don't get confused with the two. Two aren't the same incident. But the guy from Staten Island, he was actually in a Muslim Arab guy, one happened to be in Brooklyn, in the where is that, the Coney Island area. In the Coney Island area, the other guy was wearing an IDF sweater. By the way, I appreciate the likes, subscribe. Thank you guys. I'm gonna write something. I'm gonna write start a poll. Subscribe. Start a poll. You subscribe. Appreciate the likes. Um, you subscribe. I'm gonna get a few answers on that one. There's been a rise in the past 6 months, 4 to 6 months since Mandani has been governor. There has been a high rise in crimes, especially crimes and systematic crimes against Jewish people. Youth thing, okay, I just want to cover this. My point is, there has been a rise in hate crime since Mamdani. Do you agree? Because all he talks about is BB, BB, BB. You know what I did? I video off it. Actually, pretty funny. You have to watch it. I filmed this. Oh, that's the cool part. He says that's the cool part. I appreciate it. I get one guy, like, he deserves a kill. This is genuinely guy, bro. I appreciate you, bro. You even got a crown for getting my #1 supporter. Of course, bro. I got this channel. I don't know if I subbed on the other channel, but um, you're actually selfless. You're not selfish. Everybody else, they're in it for themselves. I'm gonna sub to you because you deserve a sub, even if you never sub to me. Just because you write positive things, unlike other people. Other people, they're like, why should I sub to him? I know free and it's a click away, but I have something else to do, so let me not sub to him. Let me not subscribe. So I'm just gonna continue the poll going, start a Q&A, or maybe not. But there's been a rise in hate crimes in Staten Island. This is the first one. The last one was in 2005, right before Mamdani, where the guy was wearing an IDF sweater. And with the IDF sweater, there was an Arab guy. Don't get confused with the two because it's not the same crime. Told him at the boardwalk, it was actually in Coney Island boardwalk. He said, "Do you support these people? Why are they take the sweater off?" The Jewish guy refused to take the sweater off. This just froze on me. Punched in the face twice by this Arab Muslim Nazi, whatever, white supremacist. I don't know how you could be an Arab white supremacist. But let's just call him that. Or let's just call him a hater. So yeah, anyways, he punched in a guy wearing IDF sweater. Um, and he said, "Do you support these people, this genocide, the killing of kids, killing of God forbid, all these things that he said?" Excuse me, my language. But do you support these hate crimes that's going on in Gaza, which is a little slice of Israel that had to be cut off? Everybody gets on and gets back off. But if there was 20 people, I'm sure they wouldn't. Let's talk about something else. How about we talk about something else? Let's not talk about Jewish news. Let's talk about what's going on right now. Let me actually show you. So, in Yaffo, which was a part of Israel, if you're sorry to me, let me just write something. A part of Israel, they arrested over last night actually, which is this morning. If we're 7 hours ahead or behind, I'm not sure. They arrested over 20 Palestinian terrorists for having bombs, ammunition, rocket launchers, rockets in their houses, hidden in their houses. They found them. They had the intel. They found them, and they arrested. Thank God they put blindfolds on them and they treat them like dogs and animals that they are. And because they can explode a bomb at an IDF soldier at any given moment and any time, which is very sad. Guys, I would appreciate a like and a subscription. I'll subscribe back when I get off this. Right now, I'm just talking about the news. Comment what you want me to talk about. I could talk about news here in Staten Island. I could talk about hate crime, Jewish news. But anyways, my specialty is news for Jews and for the Jewish community. People deciding not to cover it. Why is it being covered 6 days, 3 days, 6 days of it happening, and 3 days after the arrest? What happened until 9 days? Staten Island Live knew about it. Why all of a sudden now are they deciding to cover it? Because I put a couple of videos up, and I wrote to them and I said, you guys are only going to cover news that has, if there's if it's about Jews, or it's a hate crime on Chinese people, or it's a this or that, you guys are only going to cover something that's you think that's not interesting. People are going to love to read about that. That's uh, how much anti-Semitism has rose in our country. People hate Jews. They don't like Jews. But then again, there's people that love Jews because Elon Musk, God bless him, and he deserves all the money he's got and the power and all the fame, and because he knows how to handle it and because he's a good person. He's not giving it to terrorism. He's giving it to, he's building technology. He wants to build a city in Africa. He already started building technology in Africa. There's Mr. Beast, 500 million subscribers, the most famous and probably richest YouTuber, not richest guy on YouTube. He built 100. They were drinking dirty water. Kids, imagine, not toddlers, kids from the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, drinking dirty water from a river, and the water you could see looking brown and dirty because they had no other water to drink, and that can make, God forbid, people not feel well. So they built 100, and that was Mr. Beast alone. Or actually, I don't know if they were wells, or wells is they use in like the old country, third world country, or in the times of like or in the times of the Bible, the Old Testament. You guys can call it whatever you want. Not the times of Muhammad, the times of the Old Testament. The Bible meaning the Old Testament, not the New. But what's a New Testament? Can someone explain that? All due respect. Oh, you subbed. Okay, great. I got you. Please pin message. Nah, he deserves a pin, but yes, I will sub to back. Okay. Anyways, thanks. Anyways, I'd appreciate a like if you guys could like. Of course, it's free. 49 seconds just uploaded to the channel as a listed. Now, just write down what you guys want to talk about, because if you guys don't want to hear about hate crimes, Jewish crimes, but it's not just Jews being attacked. Chinese people are being attacked. Uh, ISIS is harassing the heck out of Spanish and people that were not born in this country. I know somebody that was 3 months in an ICE detention center for not having, for not renewing his citizenship, or renewing it too late. And they said, "Oh, come in. We need to talk to you about renewing your citizenship." What ended up happening? He got arrested. Let me just post this. I'm gonna see if I can post this. Chin after put user anytime now. I'm not putting any time. Guys, subscribe, like, subscribe. I'll subscribe back. I even wrote if you guys are subscribed. Well, you did subscribe. Okay, thank you. So yeah, again, ICE is violating. Even in New York, they come out. I've seen them. They jumped out of a gray car, of course, in ICE, whatever uniform that says ICE on it. They looked geared up, but they jumped out of a gray little event, like a gray sedan, an old car. It literally looked like it was 10 years old. And they grabbed somebody, and her and the lady was her husband, and the lady was yelling, "No, no, no," and they're like, "Oh well, he's from Venezuela. I'll take him away." Screw that. Okay, you know they're gonna put him in an ICE detention center and torture him for 3 months before they send him back to his country. Or they'll probably just bring him back here. You know how hard it is for them to send somebody back to their country? It takes money, taxes, your taxes, whoever is working for $5, $6, $7, $800 a week, uh, whatever you get cut off your taxes, $1, $2, $300. That money is going to ICE and NYPD and Mamdani to build their stupid little grocery stores. Mamdani's building a grocery store. You know what we're gonna see in those grocery stores? We're gonna see shawarma and halal food and everything in Qurans and halal shawarma and halal meat. And you guys are gonna be like, why is everything halal? Because Mamdani lied to us for the 1000th time. You guys don't like when I talk about Mamdani? Well, that's too bad. Because he lied to you to get into power. Trump didn't have to lie. Trump keeps his word. That's a man right there. That's a man 100. He's 100 times more of a man than Mamdani. Trump. Why? Because a man, they say all he has is his word, his guts and his words. And unlike Mamdani, who has a little smirk, I was trying to make a video. It's gonna be funny. Him and Elon Omar collaborating together, the two zoo animals. Listen, I would talk positive about you, but let me take that back. You're making um, hate crime against Jewish people go up. It's already spiked since you've been governor in neighborhood. Why has there been 4 cars vandalized, 3 homes broken into in the past days? Because and the NYPD lets people out on full order protections. If it's a hate crime is one of the worst type of crimes, especially a hate crime uh, an order protection, meaning that the there's been like a spouse or a couple get into a fight. It's called I forget what it's called, but and they get into a fight and they get whoever's in the right gets an order of protection against whoever's in the wrong, and they let them out 1, 2, 3 times, and then they finally go back in, get a new felony, and they give them some time. Maybe it'll be 6 months, and they do 4 out of 6 months. Remember, you're only doing 60% of the time. Um, the city time, you only do 60%. Time you do 80%, and then there's good time, which you could do less than 80%. So you could end up doing about half your time, even in the state, which is upstate, meaning where the big dogs are, where the where the serious threats are, and the people that will come back and retaliate against those that lock them back up. But I don't think they'll let them do that because they're gonna put them on such a bad probation, and if they try to get in contact with their um uh, with with the person that they committed the crime against, it's gonna be hell on earth to pay. Excuse my language. But let me just put it up here so I could sub back, guys. I'll be right back. And thanks for liking. I appreciate a like. You guys can like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. She's sad. I gotta subscribe back to these people. So put this, that, make it more interesting.